Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Once again, apologize for the delay. We will have this posted out there. So for those that are not able to view it live, we'll definitely have it out there so everyone can hear what we're talking about today. But just first of all, good afternoon. I want to thank you for joining us for our lunchtime community update. We've made a modification to today's agenda, and hopefully you saw that. We're going to share our calendar results in an email to the community and to our parents soon. In fact, our Board of Trustees will receive the full report on Monday night during our regular board meeting. So feel free to watch that meeting live for all the details regarding our calendar. Today, I wanted to take some time to talk about cultural proficiency. I want to visit about the walks and demonstrations and protests that we've seen throughout our country and even within our own community related to the inequities, injustice, and racism. In MISD, our vision is to inspire excellence today to change the world tomorrow. This is about preparing our students for their future, not our own. While this may seem simple, the times we live in are not. During this past week to 2 weeks, our nation has shared and continues to share grief, anger, and frustration through protests and demonstrations in response to the tragic deaths of African Americans and people of color across the country. Additionally, our Board of Trustees has faced a recent situation and are working through that issue. Please know that as elected officials, the Board of Trustees has its own governing procedures, and therefore the MISD administration is not part of the decision-making process related to our Board of Trustees' actions or words. In MISD, we are family, and we recognize that together we are Midlothian strong. These values are at the bedrock of our culture. It's who we are. It's what makes Midlothian ISD a very special place. As we continue to grow and aspire to the very desired culture that each of us seeks in every classroom, every hallway, and in every building, to be silent is to be complicit. It is important for me to be very clear where MISD stands on this critical civil rights issue. In MISD, we will never accept nor condone any words, phrases, or behaviors that demean, demoralize, or devalue any human being. We value each person's uniqueness, and establishing strong relationships with our students, parents, staff, and community is critically important. We value and appreciate each person. We want to hear from those of you who share their hurt and who speak the truth. We also want to hear from those who have compassion, empathy, an open heart, an open mind, and for those who are hurting. And we want to hear from those who want to be a part of the solution. This is the only way that we prepare our children for their future, when kindness, inclusiveness, and equity is at the foundation of every solution. In Midlothian ISD, it is our responsibility to provide every student and every staff member with a safe, inclusive, and culturally responsive learning environment. Over the past 2+ years, our district has been on an amazing journey of becoming more culturally proficient each and every day. We started with a book study with key administrators and lead teachers across the district that focused on culturally proficient leadership, which then evolved into every teacher and every staff member being trained in fostering a culturally responsive classroom and department. And that took place last August. Then throughout the year, our teachers and staff reviewed literature and lectures on this very topic. This training and learning is ongoing, and it will continue to be a focus at each professional learning day throughout the year and years to come. Additionally, last October, we launched our district's first ever diversity council of about 60+ people. Teachers, administrators, staff, parents, community, and students have been meeting each month to have open and honest conversations on what it means to be culturally proficient. Our focus in the past school year was to build trust among one another as a group, and then begin having critical conversations that foster understanding. This council of incredible individuals is in the process of developing overarching goals for the district and serves as an advisory council to district leadership. We still have a lot of work to do. As they say, cultural proficiency is a journey. It's one of the most important journeys this district has ever taken and perhaps ever will take. Today, I have 2 special guests that have joined us. They have been on our diversity council since the beginning. So with me, I have one of our administrators in the district, Chris Foster, and I also have a teacher with us, Sharice Webster. And I want to take just a few minutes to hear, I want you to hear their perspectives of our work to date and their perspectives on why they have selected MISD as their professional home. So I'm going to call on Ms. Webster to speak first, and then I'll have Mr. Foster follow up with that. So Ms. Webster, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello,
Right.
Dr. Ledbetter. Okay, well, I would love to mention that I've been teaching in Midlothian now for 5 years. I just completed my 5th year. And I came to Midlothian from Arlington, and I have enjoyed my growth. I've enjoyed my process here. I have 3 children in school here in Midlothian. And the moment I came here, I felt like I was at home. I started working at J.R. Irvin Elementary, with the little school with the big heart that is no longer little. And I was embraced from the moment I arrived on campus. I love the culture and the climate that we have of being family. I love the way that my kids have learned and grown with their teachers from elementary all the way through middle school at this point. And next year I'll have one in high school. But coming here for me, of course, was different because it's a smaller town compared to Arlington. However, there's so much here. There's so much in this school district for our children to grow and learn from. I came with a growth mindset. I love a challenge. I love to support one another, and I'm glad that I'm here. For our diversity council, I have been able to participate with the council ever since it is started. And I will be honest, initially it was challenging. And I say it was challenging because anytime you have been raised and brought up in a mindset, it's hard to go back and say, ooh, that might be something I need to rethink. But together we have grown, we've shared, our cultural diversity team has grown together over time. Now I feel like we're our own little community because we've gotten to know each other. We've penetrated the surface of everything, and we talk about anything. The students have come and spoken to us, which is probably the most powerful experience that I've had. So I'm really excited about the direction that our Diversity Council is going, and I'm looking forward to where we will go from here.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ms. Webster. I want to give Mr. Foster just a few minutes to also tell us a little bit about why you chose MISD as your professional home, and then a little bit about the Diversity Council.
Yes, so I come from actually Beaumont, Texas originally. I actually been a part of the Midlothian community. I was here for over 2 years. I've only been out the last couple of years. I'm in Mansfield currently, but I lived in Rosebud for 10 years. I built my first home there, raised my kids there. It's been a really great experience to see this community grow as it has. I followed my brother, my older brother. He's the head track coach here at Midlothian High School. I had connections already from college. Some of my classmates actually were already members of the Midlothian ISD staff. And so it was good to just have some of those, preliminary connections, coming in. But the great thing about it was just seeing how this community has actually, progressed forward. I mean, they've had a very, strong growth mindset. I was a part of Mansfield ISD for my first 8 years out here while I was living in Midlothian. And it was looking for that opportunity to actually be able to put my foot and my stamp into the community myself and be a part of the community I actually lived in. And when that opportunity came about this year, because this is my first year completed in Midlothian ISD, part of the staff, I mean, it was just great. I mean, I came in and everyone treated me like like was a neighbor next door, like I've always been. It was just great to be a part of the MISD family and to actually, see people treat you the way they state the statements that we put out that we're MISD family. That's executed. That's done every day. You see that in all the actionable steps that everyone takes, the relationships that we have. I mean, it's just amazing to see how everyone carries themselves within that credence of being, family members. I mean, they treat each other like that. I mean, we treat me like that. I mean, it was from people I hadn't met before, from networking with my brother to, I mean, even just the kids in the community. I mean, it's very, very supportive. I mean, from the little kids that knew my brother, from all the kids I got to meet this year at Walnut Grove Middle School. It's just been a great opportunity and a journey and a growth opportunity for myself. Once again, I come from a different environment that, This was some change for me coming here. Just like Ms. Webster has spoken on to earlier, it wasn't a great adjustment, but it was one of the adjustment that I did need to make. I mean, I've been a part of Dallas ISD. I've been a part of Mansfield ISD. So coming to a district like this was amazing because I saw how forward thinking, like I said earlier, they were doing. I mean, they were ahead of the curve on a lot of things, which was evident. And when we made the adjustments, due to our current situation with the COVID, I mean, they were on top of it. They had the technology, had the resources in place. They were able to have the infrastructure already set up to actually be able to support our kids continuously through this crisis. So it was just, I mean, it just speaks to the forward thinking and to the growth process that's going on here in this community. On the diversity council side of things, this was a brand new experience for me. I've never been a part of anything like this in my entire life and endeavor. And it was great to actually be, a representative on that because, I mean, we did something when I first got here, which I want to read to everybody. We had the opportunity to develop our why. And my why, I'm gonna read that to everyone. It says to build bridges of opportunities for students so that sustainable pathways to fulfilling their dreams are established. And when I came here, I came in with the mindset to try to help create an opportunity for a future leader in our community. That was my whole purpose. It's been my endeavor because someone did the same thing for me. And the great thing is to see that the district is already embracing that same mindset. I mean, it gives me goosebumps even now thinking about that, how they've had those rough conversations. They're trying to figure out a way to be proactive and not reactive to the situation. I mean, our diversity council was having conversations preceding the current situation that we're dealing with now. So, I mean, we're already trying to be forward thinking and being progressive people in this environment. And I love that. And you can't, I wouldn't want to be in any other place. So I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. I'm going to go back to both of you very quickly, just in about a 30-second to a minute response. What excites you most about the future of MISD?
I'll go first. I would say the thing that excites me most is knowing that we are moving forward, that we're growing. Just knowing that I work in a school district where we genuinely care down to every last student, every single staff member in this district, and knowing that we're trying to move forward together. And we don't just say it, we get trained. We get the support that we need to get to the point to where we can grow and move forward. And our kids get it too. I mean, to be able to work in a place where I get to teach my children and watch them grow along with me is probably one of the most powerful impacts that it could have on me. I get to represent as a parent and as a staff member for the district, and I love it. And I look forward to growing and the forward progress that we're making in the district. And it may be challenging, but I'm ready. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to get us to where we need to be.
Thank you. Mr. Foster?
I guess the best thing I can kind of describe is the family atmosphere. To me, that sums it up for me. I mean, obviously, I got a dream come true to be able to work in the same district with my brother. Finally, we've chased that for a while and finally made that happen here. And the thing is, to hear that the district took on that credence of being, we're MISD, we're MISD proud, we're MISD, we're family. And to be able to see that emulated, not just between me and my blood brother, but through all the staff members that I get to work with every day, to have, just Mr. Blackwell, the relationship he had with my brother was amazing. And then for him to take me in, under that same, cloak, it was just a beautiful thing. And it's just, you see that throughout this entire district, from member to member, staff from whatever level. I look forward to the growth that's going to happen here because of that, because that's a strong foundation. When you have people that actually execute the concept of family, you can grow. When a family works together, that's a strong unit. And that's what I believe that's what we're a part of here in Midlothian.
Absolutely. And I would love to have both of y'all. I'd love to just continue this conversation for the next hour or so, but I know we've communicated that these sessions are only going to be a few minutes long, but I definitely thank you. Thank you for your feedback. I thank you for your insight, and most importantly, of giving your time today and joining me just to say a few words. So thank you, Ms. Webster. Thank you, Mr. Foster. And we can't thank you enough for that. So just to finish up for today, I just want to tell you that when our community came together a couple of years ago, we had discussions about the knowledge and skills that each student must have to thrive in life. And cultural proficiency and global leadership was at the core of that. The power of knowledge and skills makes our community better and brighter. And I believe that MISD has a great responsibility within its vision of inspiring excellence and a greater purpose in the way we inspire excellence, which is to be a voice in our communities through the power of education. Through the power of education, we are equipping young minds into young, productive, and compassionate citizens who recognize that diversity is to be celebrated. When the 2020-21 school year begins, we have the next generation of leaders who will walk in the hallways of our school. And the truth is, our students are already active leaders in our communities. So I support and join our students, staff members, families, community members, our faith-based leaders, our law enforcement officials, and all of those who are speaking out against intolerance and inclusiveness. It is my hope for all of us that regardless of our differences, we can treat each other with dignity, respect, and compassion. And most importantly, model compassion and empathy in every face-to-face conversation, social media post, or any communication platform where every MISD student can see how we can all learn from one another. Moving forward, we will continue to work together. We will continue to inspire excellence. We will continue to have these conversations with you and invite you to join us. In fact, next Thursday, we're going to hold a community-wide thought exchange. I believe it was last week or the week before, we conducted a thought exchange. And this one's going to be on your highest hopes for MISD's Cultural Proficiency Initiative. We want your input. We want to know your feedback. We want to know what we need to do as a district to get better. As a district, we are always ready to listen. And I look forward to each of you participating next week. I hope today has been valuable, and I hope that you will join us next week as we continue to move forward within this Cultural Proficiency Initiative. So thank you very much. I believe we've had some questions and answers taking place throughout this, and I hope that those questions have been answered. If we have questions that have come up through our chat portion of this, we will follow up with an email out as part of our FAQ with responses to each of those, because we want your questions answered and we want to be as open as possible as a district to inform you as to what's taking place. So thank you for joining us today and have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.